Namaste, good morning. Thank you so much for joining. As always, please practice according to your abilities and condition. Respect your limitations. Think of the practice as an offering. And so all beings, to an extent, are being affected by how you feel, what you do, what you say. So try to practice in a way that is mindful, that will deliver the best experience possible, avoiding going to a place of pain, suffering, anxiety, and frustration. This is what will be transmitted to others. So on that note, let's practice in a way that will share the best. Close the eyes, bring the attention within. Begin with the sound of Om 3 times to attract divine attention. Imagine you're becoming one with all beings everywhere. Fix your mind on God alone. Rest your thoughts in God alone. And in God you will live hereafter. Of this there is no doubt. Om Namah Shivaya. I bow to inner light. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Om Namah May all beings everywhere be happy and free from suffering and enjoy this practice through our senses. May we always have a strong desire for the knowledge that liberates us from pain and suffering, and may we acquire the intellect to attain that knowledge. And may we cherish no ill feelings against each other, only ever peace, love, joy, and compassion. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. To make this practice even better than meditation, more significant and more powerful, renounce all the fruits. Think of this as your divine obligation. Do it because it must be done. Let's do the mantra for purification to purify the space, the ground, and all the psychic channels within. If you don't know it, just channel the Guru through your voice. Imagine the Guru singing through your voice, and you derive all the benefits though you're chanting it perfectly. If you do know it, do it with conviction and volume so that it can be heard by all the subtle bodies within and all around. We'll do it 3 times. Each one try to do it in a single breath if you know it. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smarit Pandrikaksham Sabhaya Bihantraha Jihi. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smarit Pandrikaksham Sabhaya Bihantraha Jihi. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Pandrika Ksham Sabhaya Bihantraha Jihi. Let's do spiritual breathing in order to connect with the divine within and to be firmly established in that divine self. In the spiritual heart, in the center of the chest and the right side of the physical heart. Raise your arms up, the palms slightly turned up. From the fingertips, inhale the best of the best down through the arms right into the spiritual heart. 3, 4, feel yourself being flooded by all the goodness. 6, 7, 8, holding it all in the heart. Hold the attention in the breath there. 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale out to the arms. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, inhale. Bring everything you need down through the arms right into the spiritual heart. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold it all in the heart. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale out through the arms. Just the breath leaves. Everything that you pulled in stays within. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time. Inhale everything you need down right through the arms into the spiritual heart. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Holding it all in the heart as a divine offering to God who resides there. Exhale out to the arms. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bring the arms down now. Purifier pranayama to purify all the nadis. Imagine all the purifying effects going up through the body, up the spine to the crown. On the exhale, imagine all the impurities being expelled out of the body. Remember that the main purifier is the adherence to the ethical rules. First and foremost, yama. So try to be compassionate towards all beings. Try to act in a way that doesn't bring about pain or suffering to any being. That is the main purifier. So for this one, inhale through both nostrils for 4 counts. Hold the breath for 12. Apply the locks as you hold the breath. And on the exhale, you exhale to the left side. For the breath retention for the locks, the root lock, contract the buttocks, push the belly button into the front of the spine. So really push it in and imagine you lift the whole pelvic floor up towards the navel. For the throat lock, on the inhale, fill up the chest, raise the chest, fill up the lungs, raise the chest. And then when it comes time for the breath retention, tip the chin down on the chest. Shouldn't be too, no strain or anything, just bring the chin into the chest. And when you keep your chest high, this is what allows you to do this without hunching your back. You want to keep your back straight. The tip of the tongue through the mouth behind the teeth will seal off the lock. The attention is at the space between the eyebrows. On the exhale, again, out through the left side for 8 counts. Release all the locks. So release the breath gradually until you're completely empty by the 8th count. Left hand in Jnana Mudra, the Mudra consciousness on the left knee. Right hand, second, third fingers fold down towards the palm. This is Vishnu Mudra. When you turn the hand towards you, it's no longer Vishnu Mudra. But we use the thumb for the right nostril, right ring finger for the left for the nostrils. So breathe out completely, sit up tall and straight. Inhale through both nostrils. 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath, apply the locks, third eye attention, close both nostrils. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Exhale out to the left side slowly. 2, 3, 4. Remember, release the locks. 6, 7, 8. Again, inhale through both nostrils. 3, 4. Hold the breath again. All the activity of the mind, the body, and emotions as though they're frozen. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. exhale out through the left side. 2, 3, 4. A gradual exhale. 6, 7, 8. Again, inhale. 3, 4. Hold the breath. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Out through the left side, slowly and gradually. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 more. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. All the attention at the center of the forebrow, the seat of divine perception is located there. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Out to the left side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time. Inhale. 3, 4. Hold for 12. Out to the left side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bring the right hand down. Take a moment to observe the state of the body, the mind, and emotions. Have no attachment to the result, no expectation as to what you should or should not observe. Just be the witness. Now we'll do Nadi stimulator pranayama. This helps to remove impurities. Imagine the vibrations produced are dislodging all the impurities that reside all throughout the body. Wherever they are, they get dislodged, brought out into the bloodstream, eventually to be carried out of the body. So you concentrate, you pick a pitch that you can feel right in the center of the forebrow. And again, imagine those vibrations produced are going to send all the impurities out into the bloodstream. So for this one, you're humming a sound of a female honeybee, about a pitch of a female honeybee. It's about if you do it too high, you'll feel it in the top of the head. You do it too low, you feel it more in the throat. So try to pick a pitch, play around with it where you feel it right there. And you plug the ears as you do it you press the index fingers into the ear flaps. Make sure your elbows are not down. You won't have a strong connection. Your elbows are at the height of the shoulders, and this will amplify the sensation. So you just allow the sound to ride the breath. And in between, you can just lower your elbows, take a deep breath in, exhale, release all the breath, inhale again, and you start the next one. So do it about 3 times. Get ready, take a deep breath in. Conclude, breathe in, breathe out. Again, inhale. Conclude, elbows down, breathe in and breathe out. Last time, inhale. Conclude if you haven't done so already. Hands back in Jnana Mudra on the knees. Take a moment again to observe the mind, body, and the emotional state. So now, take a moment to just settle your mind into quietness. Try to tune your mind to the higher minds, which eventually we will become, will come into that space as well. Through each reincarnation, we get better and better in every way, stronger and stronger, wiser and wiser. The sign of self-realization that we've attained it is when we see God everywhere, and when we are not affected by pain and suffering. Because we have a good understanding of the laws of karma, that everything is perfect and everything happens in accordance to the divine plan to help us to evolve and grow. So now we will momentarily begin the asana practice. Remember that all forms are simply divine, are divine manifestations. Try to see God in each and every one. And so let's revere and love all forms and celebrate how all the many ways that the magnificence and beauty of God is present in this universe. Let's come to standing and begin. So we will begin with some warm-ups to prepare the body for the practice. Warm up the joints. Let's move the mat in a little bit. Okay, so now, hands on the hips, circle the head. Take it all the way around if you can. If it feels better for you, however, to do semicircles, that's okay too. Try to get your ears to the shoulders, the chin to the chest. If you're taking the head all the way around, the back of the head to the top of the back. And go in the other direction now. Or just keep doing semicircles if that's what you're doing, but you can go from backwards this time. Instead of chin across the chest, the head rolls back from side to side. Now spin the right arm. Make as though you're winding up to throw a ball. You can use your left hand to support if you need to, and turn the body with the arm to help your shoulder if you have any limitations. And then go forward. Be careful of your joints. And then the left arm. Feel as though you're holding a weight to 5 pounds in the hand to make the arm swing more easily. If you can, go faster. And go forward now. Now bring both arms over the head. Take hold of the opposite elbows, bend to the left. Then go to the right. Bounce a few times on each side. Go to the left again. Pull on the elbow. Try to take all the folds out of the waist as you bend. Left. And then right. Come back to the center. Little circles over the head. That increasingly get larger. Starting to feel it in the side body at the waist. And maybe, if you feel apt to do so, the whole torso can spin. The forearms coming right across the top of the feet. And go in the opposite direction now. Good. And come up. I just realized, oh yes, I am wearing my mic. Okay, good. Okay, so next one. Shake out the fingers, the wrists, move all the joints. Feel all of them being shaken vigorously. Then up and down like the wings of a hummingbird. Arms by sides of the body, continue to shake the shoulders, the head flying in all the directions, the arms like heavy ropes. And then start to slow it down. Now bring the feet together, arms by sides of the body, Zulu jumping, jump up as high as you can. If you have any knee issues or you can't jump, you can lift your heels, just bounce. But if you can, get as high as you can. And then stop. Arms out to the side. You can bring your left hand to a wall if you like. The right leg swings back and forth. Flex your toes so that you don't stub your toes on the ground. Knee to the shoulder, maybe even the toes to the back of the head. Other leg. Fix your gaze on a point if you're not holding on to anything. Good. And release. The feet back together, arms by sides of the body. Coming up with the arms and the heels. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and back down gracefully. 2, 3. Try not to allow the heels to hit the ground heavily. 5, 6. Come up again. 2, 3. Really push through with your toes. 5, 6. Charge your legs and the core. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Up again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And back down. 2, 3. All the movements gracefully done. 6. One more time. Move in a way that doesn't agitate the mind. Bring it to a state of restlessness and disturbance. 4, 5, 6. Hold the position. Get up even higher. And back down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lower the chin back down in the chest in a gesture of humbleness. And stay in this humble mindset throughout the practice. Let go of all expectations. Let go of all attachments to results. So let's come to the front of the mat. Surya Namaskara. Hands to the heart. Imagine being infused by the light and the warmth of the sun that is representative of the wisdom and the love of God who resides within, and share it with all beings. Raise your arms up over the head, arch back, and fold the body down. Bend your knees if you need to bring your hands flat on the ground. Right foot back, lower down the knee, drop down to the seat. Into the plank, knees down, the seat back. Glide between the arms, brush the nose against ground as you're coming forward. Roll the shoulders back, take the head back. Take the seat back again, come forward. Pull with the arms like you're trying to pull it forward towards you, and see how it propels the body forward with more power. One more time, take the seat back, come forward. Curve the spine, roll the shoulders down, the neck is long so the head can go back even more. Adho Mukha Savasana. Lift your seat, allow the head to come down. If you're flexible, you might even touch the forehead to the ground. Now the right foot forward. If you need to, lower your left knee down. The foot doesn't make it all the way. You can take the right hand to the foot and push it forward. Feet together, Uttanasana, chest on the thighs, head down. Come up to standing, reach up and back. And come back home, hands to the heart. Go up and back again. Stretch the whole front of the body. Come down, Uttanasana. Left foot back. Drop down to the seat right close to the front heel. Into plank, or if it's better for you, you can just come into your table. The seat goes back. Again, come forward 3 times. Make like a snake creeping through the grass. Put yourself in the body of what you're representing. Take the seat back, come forward again. Try to embody all the divine qualities of a serpent. Be regal and wise, fierce and fearless. One more time. Take the seat back, come forward. 3 times blessed, so those can imitate the forms on all levels. Copy them physically, mentally, and spiritually. Adho Mukha Savasana. Lift the seat, soften the line in the back. The head falls towards the ground. The heart falls as well. And then the left foot comes forward softly to the hands. So as you're coming forward, if you're taking a step, move your shoulders over the fingertips so the foot doesn't land with a big heavy thump. Feet together, Uttanasana. Come right up to standing, reach up and back. And back home, Pranayama. Go up and back. Don't worry about the breath. Move the body in a way that allows the breath to remain steady and uniform. And then the breath will deliver more power and ease to the movements. Anjalyasana. Into the plank.
Knees down, the seat back. Again, 3 times. Come forward. Push the elbows into the side spine, turn your fingers out, and come up. Take the seat back again. Come forward. Try to do the practice of enthusiasm. Imagine a guru within is watching everything. All the way back again. Come forward. You want to do them proud. If the guru senses the enthusiasm, the students are more apt to share the tricks and the knowledge with you. Adho Mukha Savasana. And then the right foot comes forward. Feet together, Uttanasana. Close the gap between the body and the thighs. Come right up and back home. Always coming back to the source of divine love at the heart. Infuse all the movements with love and devotion and compassion. Left foot back. That includes compassion to the self. Remember, practice in the way that will deliver the best experience to you too. And they will transmit it to all beings. Into Cobra, all the way back. Come forward again. Move with power, with grace, and with intention. All the way back to offer always into your Bhujangasana. Uncoil majestically like the serpent. Adho Mukha Savasana. See if you can drop your heels right down towards the ground, the head as well. And then the left foot comes forward to the hands. Feet together, Uttanasana. Bow down as though in humbleness. And right up to standing. Back home, Pranayama. Raise your arms up. Go down. Right foot back. Every movement, every posture has a certain consciousness. Try to tap into it. Into plank, Ashtanga Namaskara. Knees, chest, forehead down. Chest between your hands. Come forward. As your hips come between the hands, lift your hips away from the ground. You can bend the toes under. And for here, stay here for a moment. Pulse. Push your shoulders back. Look like a dog howling at the moon. Good. Work the spine a little bit to make it supple and strong. Back into Adho Mukha Savasana. Here, pulse as well. Bounce. Try to get your chest towards the ground. The forehead, if you can, strike the forehead to the ground. See if you can get your heels down as well. Look like a dog stretching its back. Now the right foot comes forward. Feet together, Uttanasana. Try to get your seat up over your heels. Same line. Come right to standing and back home. And again, raise your arms up. Stretch the whole front of the body. Go to your limits. And come forward and down. Uttanasana. So you try to get your seat up, your legs straight, but without detaching your body from the thighs. And then the left foot goes back. Into the plank. Ashtanga Namaskara. Keep your elbows close to the body. Swim right through between your arms. Upward facing dog. This time go from upward to downward 3 times. Round your back, tuck your chin in. And then sink your heart right down. Again, so you get your head close to the ground or on the ground. Come forward again. Wave the body. Round your back and then push your chest forward. Curve your spine. The other way. And then back into Adho Mukha Savasana. Sink the heart. Look like a slide to the playground and come forward again. Rounding your back. Tuck your tailbone into upward facing dog. Last time back into Adho Mukha Savasana. Downward facing dog. Embody the loyalty of the dog to its master. Be loyal yourself to the practice of serving others always. And now the left foot comes forward. Uttanasana. Bow down as though in humbleness. Come up. Open yourself up to divine grace. Hands back to the heart. Be receptive to the idea of serving others always. Reach up. This time you come down, bend your knees, land your belly on your thighs. If you can, join your hands and pull them all the way up off your back, over your shoulders, maybe even in front of the head a little bit. Now the right foot goes back, back knee down, Kapiyasana. Bring the arms up. See if you can get your arms behind your head. Raise your arms up first, then drop your shoulders down and arch back, lean away from the leg. Come back into high plank. You can do the same entry, Ashtanga Namaskara, into upward facing dog. If you want, you can even lower down in Chaturanga, elbows over the wrists, hovering above the ground, and through into upward facing dog. Adho Mukha Savasana. Right leg up, 3-legged dog. Step the foot between the hands. With control, plant the foot so it's soft when it lands. Raise your arms up, take the arms back, try to get
The arms beside, maybe even behind the ears. Drop your shoulders down. Good. And then swing your hands behind your back. Try not to touch your fingers to the ground. Hold your breath. The left foot comes in to meet the right. Uttanasana. Come right up to standing. Reach up and back. And back home. Be the witness watching the body moving all by itself. Raise your arms up. Go down. Bury your mind deep in the heart. Watch the body move with even more power, grace, and ease. Uttanasana. Left foot back. Reach up, radiate your light from within like the crescent moon reflects the light of the sun. Drop your shoulders so the head can go back even more. And then come back into your high plank. Into your upward facing dog again, whatever entry suits you, go ahead. Press into your hands, into upward facing dog. Don't lose your neck, keep your neck long, remember. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Create space wherever possible. Left leg up, we are infinite in nature. So embody that through the practice. Drop your seat right close to the front heel, reach up and lean all the way back. Try to get your index fingers over the back toes. Now swing your hands behind your back, join together if you can, and bring the right foot forward to meet the left. Uttanasana. Imagine trying to get your chest below the knees. And come right up to standing. Arch back. And then always coming back to the center of the chest, right side of physical heart. That's where your spiritual heart is. Remain established there. Reach up and back. Fold, hinge at the hips, belly on your thighs. Hands come over your shoulders. If you're flexible, maybe your whole front of the body press against the legs, including the forehead. Right foot goes back, back knee down. Raise your arms up. Drop your seat forward. Circle your arms down, allow the head to go back. If you want, you can even lift your toes up towards the head, just to work more joints at the same time. Raise your arms up. Bring your seat all the way forward so that when you bring your foot up, you don't lose your balance. And again, raise your arms up. Not important, just do again according to your abilities. Circle the arms down, the head goes back, the toes come up. Into either plank in Ashtanga Namaskara. If you want, you can swing your left leg all the way up, Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana. Come forward into your high plank, shoulders over the wrists, and see if you can lower your chest down first. Push through to your toes, turn your fingers out, elbows come into the sides of the body. Lower down your chest slowly. As soon as the chest touches, the left foot comes down, meets the other one into upward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Right leg up, transition between the forms, gracefully, like you're doing a divine dance of devotion, fluid movement. The hip right against the front heel, arms up. Oops, I forgot this. Lift your seat, circle the arms down. Allow the foot to come up, maybe touching the head, or trying to touch the head. Raise your arms up, drop your seat forward. It's not the result that's important, it's the efforts. One more time. Raise your arms up. Seat all the way forward, the head goes back, the toes come up. Now from here, hands stay behind your back, interlace your fingers, left foot comes in to meet the right. Uttanasana. Come right up to standing. Raise your arms up over the head. Arch back. And come back home. Good. Go up again. Stretch the arms up. Hinge at the hips. Belly on your thighs. Push your seats all the way up. Your hands come up over your shoulders. Bow down in its own humbleness. Your left foot goes back. Back knee down. Raise your arms up. This time we're going to turn to the right. Circle the arms down. Inhale again. Reach up. Circle to the right. We're making a gesture here like we're remaining receptive to all experiences. We have something to gain from each and every one. Circle the arms down. This time turn forward. Arms up. Drop your seat forward and turn to your left this time. Left hand slides towards the foot. Right arm goes over the head. Stretch the side body. Good. Now from here, turn forward. Swing the right arm down. Join it with the left hand. Uttanasana. I think I forgot something, right? Hands down. Swing the right leg all the way up and back into Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana. Come forward into your high plank. Again, lower down. Again, you can do the other variation, transition into upward facing dog if it's too much. Through into upward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. We'll have a chance to realize everything. So don't worry. Left leg up. Step the foot between the hands.
Whatever we don't accomplish in this lifetime, there's always the next one and the next one. Raise your arms up, turn to your left. Go as far as you can in each lifetime, so you never know what's going to happen. You have always karmas to resolve, so do the best you can in this life so you can go as you start off where you picked up. Turn to the right, slide the right hand towards the foot. Reach back. Good. Keep the body upright and long and graceful lines. Now from here, turn forward, swing your left hand back, join it with the right hand, and the right foot joins the left. Uttanasana. Come right up to standing, reach up and back. And then come back home, hands to the heart. Good, so take a breath here. Charge the body from the heart. Inhale the love from the heart up to the crown. Hold the breath, and now send the love everywhere to all beings everywhere, like the sun that shines down equally in everything. Exhale back down to the heart. Remain established in divine unconditional love for all. And release. Let's continue with some balance poses. Okay, start off with on your left foot. Bring the right foot up. Take hold of the heel from the inside and see if you can take your leg out straight to the right. If you can't straighten your leg very easily, you can hold underneath the knee. If you're really limited and you're flexible, you can just hold your knee. If you're more flexible, however, bring your foot up higher towards the shoulder. Maybe it looks, try to keep your fingers and toes in the same line. So maybe it looks more like a letter T or the letter Y. Wherever you are, perfect, just offer it up. Look up if you can, if you find a balance. If you're flexible, you can do other variations. For instance, you can bring your right foot in. See if you can take your foot from, like the left foot comes across the front of the foot. Take hold of the outer edge of the foot and bring the leg right up. Now from here, bring the foot back down. But keep your knee up. I just changed mine at the last moment. Garudasana. So turn towards the left, point the toes, push the thigh against the standing leg, and if you can, hook your foot around the back of the left leg. If you can't, just keep it out. Left arm over the right. Come down. Try to keep your shoulders in line with your hips. While you come down, your elbows in front of your shoulders. And release. Come back up. Try it on the other side now. Anchor down to the right foot. Fix your gaze on the point. Maybe around 3 feet in front on the ground. Something that doesn't move, always better for balance. Your thumb behind the heel. Take your leg out. Embody all the qualities of a dancer. Be poised, be graceful, be magnificent. Again, if you're more flexible, the leg comes up higher. If you want to try to take your foot, bring the foot across the front of the body. Right hand comes the outside edge of the foot over the top of the foot. And pull the foot right up. As Dharmaji says, we get credits from the past life, and so we just pick up where we left off. So those who have seemingly great gifts in whatever it is, art or music or intellect, it's all from the past life. Good. And then from here, bring the foot back down. Keep your knee up high so that when you bring your leg on top of the other one, it's a little bit higher, a little bit easier to hook if you're hooking. Turn to the front again, right arm over the left. Just do your best again, remember. No attachment to the results. Be unjudging, be unconcerned. Stay like the eternal witness, unaffected. And come back up. So let's come to the back of the mat. You can either have your arms out to the side, or if you can bring your hands behind your back, interlace them, bend the wrists so the palms stay open. Your left foot forward. Come down, your belly on your thigh, and see if you can raise your right leg up. As your legs are coming up, your hands come up higher. Your head about the height of the knee, your foot higher than the hip. Push the shoulders back, curve your spine a little bit if you can. If your arms are out to the side, imagine you're a gliding eagle, soaring from a great height. This is soaring down, swooping down from a great height. Use your imagination to visualize a form and see if your body can realize what you see in your imagination. Now from here, bring your hands down to the ground. If you have very tight hamstrings, you can bend your leg and bring your right knee up as high as you can. If you can keep your legs straight, keep it straight. Left hand comes to the foot, index finger on the outside the heel, and try to move your right hand right beside the foot. Maybe take off one finger at a time until you're just on the index finger, and even eventually take your index finger to the inside of the heel. Your gaze is just beyond your toes. Good. Now from here, hands down, bend your leg if you like, and press the left heel up. Flex the foot. So here, if you want, you can come into handstand. Push into your hands. Take a breath, take a few jumps. If you keep your legs bent, it's a little bit easier to balance. If you want to come to a wall, come to a wall. So push through with your toes. You can even just lift your heel. You don't even have to lift your heel off the ground if you don't feel comfortable. Just push into your hands. Each time you push into your hands, push into with your toes and lift your heel. Okay, but eventually you can just see if you can lead with your hips. Come up a few times. If you can stay, stay. Gaze right between your hands. And come back down. Take a moment here. Breathe in. Breathe out. Feel like a rag doll. Relax everything. Keep your head heavy as you come roll your way back up. Charge the body. Inhale. The best coming all the way up through the spine to the crown. Exhale, send it everywhere throughout the body. Feel recharged, feel rejuvenated. Try it on the other side now. Okay, so go back to the back and the end of the mat. Again, arms out to the side, or join your hands together, the right foot forward this time. Bend your right knee, land your belly on your thigh. Keep your gaze fixed on a point in front of your right foot, and lift your left leg up as high as it will go. Point the toes, make it look pretty. Push the shoulder blades against one another. Your chin comes forward a little bit. Arch your back if you can. Now bring your hands down. Again, modify as you need to by bending your left knee and bring your left knee up as high as you can. Your belly on the thigh, so bend your right knee if you need to. If you can, keep your legs straight like a standing split. The right hand, index finger against the outside the heel, and your left hand moves in right beside your foot. Practice getting off just all the fingers except for the index finger. Eventually, maybe bring your index finger on the inside the heel. Hold your breath. Your hip should be right in line with your heel. But if you fall, just come right back up. And then bring your hands down on either side foot, not too far. As you start to jump, your foot might start to go back, and then you'll waste a lot of energy, but try to jump because you have to jump from quite a distance. So keep your hands close to your heels, your palms, just in front of your toes. Again, you can just lift your heel up if this is where you're at. Or you can just take a few hops, push into your hands, hold the breath as you come up. Push off the roots of your toes. Eventually you might find a balance. Bend your legs again, flex your feet, push your roots of your toes. Just keep doing this continuously. You can even stay with your legs straight if you like. If you make your way up, concentrate on steadiness. Hold it as long as you can. And come down. Dharmaji likes us to practice this for at least 5 minutes to make the bones strong and thick. Again, just relax here. Maybe push your hands underneath your heels and then push your heels down into your palms. Lift your seat. Your armpits beside your knees, your belly on your thighs. Roll your way up slowly.
Turn the palms forward. Inhale, imagine lights of every color coming into the body, up the spine to the crown. Exhale, illuminate your body with all that light and radiate outwards to all beings. This is your true nature. So now stand in the middle of the mat. We'll incorporate another bounce pose somewhere in the flow of sequences, the sequence of postures. Separate your feet. You can jump or walk, step your feet out. Left foot turns to the left. If you have more flexibility, go a little bit lower. Make sure your knees not popping in. Your knees over the two middle toes, and get a sense, embody the qualities of a warrior. Enter into the warrior consciousness. If you can, bring the right arm up over the head. Look up between the hands, as though to say, I'm yours. Grant me higher devotion. Take me. Now from here, back to warrior two. The left hand comes to the inside of the foot, the right arm over the head, Parsvakonasana. So make sure your hip is not jutting up. It's not a triangle. So your hips sink your seat a little bit. If you can't get your hand to the ground, you can bring your forearm on your thigh. Straight line from the foot all the way to the hand. If you want, you can slip your right arm goes behind your back, right arm, the hand on the thigh, roll the thigh outwards. Or if you want, take a bind. Left shoulder comes down underneath the leg, the right arm goes behind the back. Join your hands just beside your seat, against the back of the left thigh, not around the seat. Now from here, slide your right foot in if you can, and see if you can lift your right hip up. Try to get your right leg straight. If you're doing Parsvakonasana without the bind, you can come to triangle, your hand on the ground behind your heel or on the leg. Now from here, Ardha Chandrasana. If you're in this version with your arms extended, left hand just steps out a little bit, about 14 or 16 inches in front of your left foot. The right leg and the right arm comes up. If you have a bind, if you want to challenge, you can see if you can do it with a bind. Move your hip over the heel, gaze down. See if you can get your right foot up off the ground, even just the heel. Eventually your right leg comes up. Bring the right foot back down, turn forward, lower the seat down, drop down to the seat. Kapiyasana. Shoulders wiggle a little bit. Try to get your arms again behind the ears. Push your lower back up and in. So imagine you telescope your body out of the hips before you go back so you don't crunch your lower back. Shoulders down so the neck stays long. If you have flexibility in your shoulders, bend your hands back, keep your seat low. See if you can bring your foot up and take hold of the foot. If you want to do a swan, turn to the right. Just as we did before, bring the right foot up, but this time bring it close to your shoulder. Bring it right into the crook of the arm. The fingers come close to your ear. Left hand comes behind your left side of the head. And see if you can find your fingers. Push the foot away from your body, your shoulder. Think of a swan's neck. There's no kinks, no sharp angles. Smooth lines. Break the pose. Look forward. Left foot moves out to the edge of the mat. Bend the toes under, rock back and forth. A few times, try to get your hips to sync with each pass. Push one more time to the right foot, lower the knee down. If your hips are low enough, you can fall onto your right forearm, then roll back to your left. Try to get both sides of your hips down and start to telescope your head and chest forward. If your hips are not close to the ground, stay on your hands, but just sink your hips down. Imagine there's attracted to the ground by a magnet. Okay, so if you're all the way down, your hips are down, maybe the pelvis, the belly, and the chest will come down. Make sure your knee stays close to the shoulder. Be like a lizard. Just be still, like you're sunning yourself. If you're flat on the ground, take any variations if you like. Left arm can go over the foot, out to the side, or underneath your left knee. And then your hands join over your back. Now come back onto your hands. From here, bring your shoulder back. So there's a few variations here. You can take your, if you don't have a lot of mobility, you can't get your shoulder back behind your knee, you can bring an arm in front and just press back into the back of the arm against the shin. So you can take your left arm out, maybe in a right. And keep your knee on the ground as well. If you can, your left shoulder goes in behind the knee. Push against the knee and keep the knee on the ground, or lift the knee. And again, take your arms out. Hover about the head and the hip and the heel in the same line. If you want to do Visvamitrasana, you have to lean towards the left hand a little bit. Sit, allow your leg to sit on the arm. Wrap your leg around the left arm. The right foot is flat. And so you can extend your leg. If you can take the right hand to your foot and pull it out. Break the pose, bring the left foot back down, come down on your right knee again, come into a position that looks like a genuflect to your left foot, try to lift it up. If it comes up easily, it's in the right place. Bend the toes under and a back foot. Parivrita Parsvakonasana. I'll turn this way again so you can see. Anchor the leg in place with your left hand, point the toes and the knee, same line towards the right. The right arm comes all the way down. Try to get your armpit on the outside of the knee. Your left hand pushes into your right. Push very hard, left hand into right. At the same time, bring the body up. See if you can get the center of the chest to line up with your thumbs, and then keep on turning towards your left. The face and chest turn up. If you have a bind, push your seat back, or if you want to try a bind, turn more to your left. Bring your left shoulder all the way back. Bend your fingers in towards the inside of the wrist. Use your left hand to guide the hand underneath your leg. And then the left arm can go over your back. Join your hands underneath the belly. And if you want, hold your breath and take your right knee up off the ground. Push through the heel. Keep extending from the heel all the way to the crown. If this was all too much, stay upright. Right hand can come to the outside of the knee, left hand on your seat. Push into your seat, pull down. Get tall on the inhale, twist more on the exhale. Now coming back from here, turn towards the long edge of the mat. Your body between your legs and come all the way up again. Good. So now if you can't see, we're going to go to the right. So if you can't see the screen, or then turn 180 degrees back into Virabhadrasana. Look over the front hand. Virabhadrasana 2, look up. Gaze between your hands. Demonstrate the most remarkable quality of the warrior, the devotion, steadfast in their duty to protect. Now from here, I can't remember where I was going, into the warrior 2 again, and into your side angle. So you can either have your forearm on your leg, left arm goes over your head, or the hand on the ground if you can. Extend through the heel and the left hand. So straight line, make sure your hips not jutting up. You can take a bind if you want. You can or a half bind with your hand on the thigh, roll it outwards. Eventually you might be able to get your arm underneath your leg by bring your shoulder down below the line of the knee. Your left arm goes behind your back. Join your hands again just beside your right hip against the back of the thigh. Now from here, move into your triangle. Bring the left foot, move more weight into your right foot. Bring left foot in, straighten at the right. Lift the right hip so you get the right leg straight. Eventually try to push your right leg straight as well. Can stay in this bind, or if you don't have a bind, the regular triangle, the hand behind your heel or on the leg. Hip and head roughly in the same line. And then from here, gracefully into your Ardha Chandrasana. Lean forward, the right hand slides forward in front of your right foot, left leg goes up, and then the left arm. I'm going out of the view of the camera. If you want to do the bounded version, your hands on the bind, your left foot moves in closer. You try to get your hip over the heel, gaze just in front of your right toes. Keep your head down and bring your left leg up. The right leg comes back down. Lower your seat down, turn forward. Kapiyasana. Reach up, drop your shoulders down, wiggle your shoulders back. Try to get your arms all the way back, like you're trying to get your index fingers over the back toes. If you're flexible, bend your hands down. Keep your seat low. See if you can take your foot up. Or the swan. Turn to your left. Slide your hand towards the left foot and bring it up towards the shoulder right against the shoulder. Lean towards the shoulder, the foot a little bit, the fingers right close to the ear, so when the right hand comes around on the right side of the head, your hands might find one another more easily. Then push your foot away from your shoulder. Break the pose. Lizard. Move the foot towards the edge of the mat. Go back and forth. Push through the back heel. One more time. Extend through the heel, lower the knee down, flatten out the toes. Depending again on your flexibility, you can stay on your hands and just keep on sinking your hips down. Dharmaji doesn't usually necessarily encourage too heavy use of props because you get dependent on them and then you don't actually sink. So get the sensation that your hips are sinking into the ground, and then keep on telescoping your body and chest, the body forward. Maybe as the body lengthens, the body will come closer to the ground. Eventually you can fall onto your left form and your hips are low enough. Roll back to the right, and once your hips are anchored down, the pelvis, the belly, and the chest will come down with it. More and more. Once you find the pose, be still. You can take any variations you like if you're flat on the ground. Merge with the form. See God in a form. When you surrender to the pose, that's when you find the ease. Now break the pose, coming back onto your hands. So again, all those different variations of Visvamitrasana. You can bring the right arm across the front of the shin and just push against the leg. You can see if you can take your hands up or behind. Right shoulder goes in behind. You can keep your knee on the ground even. Okay, and then see if you can get your arms out, hovering close to the ground. You have to be pretty flat, not far from the ground. Or if you can, lift the back knee, turn to the right. Visvamitrasana. You have to lean more weight into right hand. Wrap your right leg around the right arm. Push into the back of the leg. Extend the leg or take the foot. Reach across the front, the foot, and then push. Keep pushing against the back of the knee. Break the pose. Come back onto your knee. It's in a more upright position. Parivrita Palskonasana. Do a little test of seeing if the foot easily. You can stay up upright. If this is where you're at, just keep twisting to the right. Keep your spine long, your head over your hip and your knee. If you can, left arm up. Go to the right, dive down. Try to get your armpit on the outside of the knee. This is especially important if you're trying to take the bind. If your hands are at the shoulders, keep pushing the hands down. Try to get the center of the chest behind your thumbs. Roll the right shoulder back. So make sure your wrists and make sure your hands are not like this.
Your wrists in the same line as your elbows. Lock them in place, straight line. If you're taking a bind, push your seat back. Turn more to the right. Bend your fingers in towards the inside of the wrist. Use your right hand to guide your hand under. Push your seat back or even lift your leg up first. Give yourself more space, but here's a trick. You have to keep the balance. Push out through the back of the right heel, the left heel. Pull on the arms, see if you can get more rotation. Break the pose. Come back into your plank. Vasisthasana. Go on your left hand, turn to the right. You can keep your legs crossed. If you're starting to sink into your shoulder, your hips are starting to fall, lower your left knee down. Underneath the hip, not so much like this. That's still going to cause you to sink into the shoulder. So come like this, or stay on your hand, straight line from the feet all the way to the head. Come back to plank, go on the other hand. Your hand should be a little bit in front of the shoulder, your shoulder should not be over your fingertips. That's not too good for the joint. Good. And then come back. Lower your knees down. From here, Supta Virasana. If you can't sit between your heels, sit on your heels and walk your hands back as far as they can. If you can, however, sit between your heels and see if you can go down lower and lower. Maybe at some point you can come onto your forearms. Maybe those you can, go right onto your back. See if you can bring your knees together. If you can take hold of your opposite elbows over your head. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, allow the body to sink again. Keep pushing your knees further forward away from you to lengthen the calves, the thighs a little bit. Now come back to seated position. Press into your feet if you're on the ground. Press against the heels. Push into your elbows. Lift your shoulders up. Chin into your chest and come back up. So we'll do one more round of Vasisthasana. If you have a variation, you can do that this time. If you're on your knee, you can raise your leg up. You can bring your foot back a little bit. Get a little bit of a hip, open up your hips a little bit, your chest. Or you can bring your leg up, take hold of the foot, pull on the foot. You should feel like Dhanurasana. If you can raise your right leg up. Maybe slide your right foot back. Spin on the foot as you're sliding your foot back. The foot lands just alongside the knee. The inside edge foot should be down. You might need to push your foot in a little bit closer and turn your toes so it's the same line as the rest of your leg. If you turn your foot too much, it's going to be hard to get the inside edge foot down. Also hard for balance. See if you can take your right foot up off the ground. If you can, take your knee up. Hold the knee. Keep your hip high. You might be able to eventually take your foot. Slide your hand to the inside of the foot. Lock your left leg into place. Go ahead if you haven't already. Angry determination, constant practice, and adherence to ethical rules will allow you to make rapid progress. Break the pose. Come back and go on the other hand now. The hand should be again in front of the shoulder a little bit. Keep your right arm extended. Your hips very high. And if you want to move in the pose now, go ahead. Spin on your right foot. Turn your toes so it's following the line as the rest of the leg. Move the foot in a little bit. Make sure the inside edge foot is down. It's as though you're trying to get your knee over your heel. This is how high your hip goes. So you can take your left foot up. If you can, take hold of the knee. Bring the knee right in towards your body. And then it'll be easier to take hold of the foot too if you want to extend your leg. Now really push into your hip up, push into the right foot. Should almost feel like a ballet pose when you're in full expression of the pose. Break the pose, come down. From here,
into child's pose.
Breathe in. Breathe out. Relax everything. Now roll your way up.
Now it's time for headstand. If you know what you're doing already, go ahead. Don't have to wait for me. Go into your headstand and find steadiness. If you feel comfortable, close your eyes, go inward. Take your attention to the space between your eyebrows. If you need some assistance or any modifications, if you don't want to come up very high and your feet want to stay on the ground,
just bring your forehead in front of your knees and lift your seat. Try to get your seat as high as possible. Your seat eventually over your knees. If is too much pressure for the back of the head, it's not comfortable at the back of the neck, you can just move your head forward a little bit. So you're more on the top of the head and you don't feel a stretch as much in the back of the neck. If you want, you can take your hands so that the head and the hands form a triangle, not beside your head. In front, your arms, your wrists in line with your elbows. Your arms should be at right angles, upper arm to lower arm. Walk your feet close to your wrists, just behind them. Lift your seat up. Try to get your seat over your shoulders. Rest just underneath your knees against your elbows and see if you can dance from one foot to the other. Eventually, you might feel comfortable in taking your toes, pulling your toes away from the ground. If you keep pressing against the arms with your knees, you might be able to get your feet up.
if you want to use a wall, you can use a wall. And if you don't want to be on your hands, you'd rather it's too much pressure, come onto your forearms. Bring your seat right against on your heels, your feet against the wall or base of the legs of a chair. Your elbows right underneath your shoulders, so they should be just a few inches, about 3 or 4 inches away from the knees. Don't make sure you can take hold of your arms easily, the outside of the arms, and then don't move your elbows. Bring your hands forward. Interlace your fingers. Place your forehead in front of your hands, and then when you lift your seat, your head will roll into the hands. Your hands are not on the ground. Your hands are not on the. Your head's not on the hands. The hands are forming a helmet for the back of the head. Bring one foot on the wall or on the seat of the chair. If you're on the wall, the foot is about the height of the hip. Look at the wall to see where you're placing your foot. Your other leg goes behind you. Keep your leg bent, the foot hanging towards the ground. Bend your toes back. This helps with balance. Now, if you're reaching for the wall, you're too far. You should be able to touch the foot to the wall with your knee bent. So then you can pull your toes away and put your foot back on the wall if you need to. If you're reaching for the wall, you're always going to have the sensation that you want to touch the wall where you're trying to get away from it. So now another minute or two to explore the variations or to stay where you are. If you need to come down, but don't rest too long, maybe 2 or 3 breaths at the most, and then try again. As Dharmaji says, you might lose your enthusiasm. If you have other variations you want to try, you can go into lotus, for instance. You can try to take one hand up off the ground. You can try to move your legs without allowing the feet to fall down at any point. So move slowly, no jerky movements that will throw you off balance. Bit by bit, it's easier to move your legs before you try to move your arms. So get used to movement, move fluidly without losing your concentration. Keep your attention at the space between the eyebrows. One more minute. If you want, you can come onto one arm and one hand. So one hand is stay on the forearm. Press the head against the inside of the wrist. Your right hand comes into tripod. So you can take your hand up off the ground, or just just one finger, the index finger again. Eventually, see if you can take your hand up. You have to push through the back foot. Keep your legs bent again, close to your body. Easier to find a balance. Eventually, you might take your foot, pull on the foot. These again for more advanced practitioners.
Now slowly make your way down with control. No rush. Make your way into child's pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Soon it becomes very comfortable in the pose, and you'll be able to meditate for long periods in this pose. So many benefits. And it opens you up to new perspectives, seeing things through another lens, through another perspective. And come all the way up. And then perhaps it'll be easier to be open to other beings' perspectives, not just your own. Take your legs out in front, scooch the front to the mat, and then roll back. If you need to, you take a few rolls. Try to get your legs up high enough, your seat up high enough so they can catch your back with your hands, and then eventually land in your plow pose, your feet behind your head. You can have your hips behind your shoulders and stay there if you need a more restorative version of the pose. If you want to go into shoulder stand, prepare by bring your hands behind your back, interlace the fingers, press your wrists together, see if you can get your arms behind your body as much as you can. If you're looking at yourself in front, you won't be able to see your arms anymore. Then don't move your elbows, move in closer, and then bring your hands on the back. Can bring one leg or both legs up at the same time. Your toes and your chin in the same line. Get your feet up high as you can. And once you're in a pose, be still. If you want to go into lotus, do it now. You can use your hands to help. And if you can bring your hands to your knees or on your thighs, go ahead. Push your knees higher than your hips. Now again. One pointed focus on the space between the eyebrows. Nothing to do. Nowhere to go but deeper within, beyond the body, the mind, and the emotions. Make your way into plow pose. If you have a lotus, you can do your pindasana. Bring a lotus against your body. If you want, you can wrap your arms around the legs. Join your hands just underneath your seat, your knees on either side of the head. If you don't have a lotus, come down with your feet behind your head again. You have the option to bring your thighs against your body, your knees on either side of the head. If you're flexible, you might be able to bring your knees all the way down to the ground. Keep your hands on your back if your feet don't touch down all the way. Again, way to roll out. Your palms down on the ground behind your back. As your seat comes down, your hands move closer together, your thumb tips eventually touching, index fingers touching. Keep your legs close to your body as long as you can as you're coming down. Don't come down with a big, heavy crash landing. Control the descent. Then once your seat lands on a wrist, lower your legs down, but stop about halfway. Keep them there. Lift your back up off the ground. You now look like a check mark. Your elbows behind your back. Bring your elbows closer in. You can keep your legs up. If you can, bring your chest up, the top of the head to the ground. If it's too much, bring your legs all the way down to the ground. Fish pose. Breathe very fast in the nose like a sniffing dog. Now, bring your feet down close to your seat. You can either do bridge pose here. Bridge pose, you just slide your head back down. You lift your seat and move your arms again. Hide them underneath your body. If you're looking from above, you can't see them. Your chest comes towards your chin. Your shins are vertical. If you
If you have an Urdhva Dhanurasana, you can do it to keep your head where it is. Just move your hands beside, on either side of the head, fingers facing away. Lift your seat, and then bring your head a little bit closer in towards the feet. Turn your hands around the other way now. Fingers slightly turned out, spread a little bit. Lift your head up off the ground if you can. Urdhva Dhanurasana, like the mother of all back bends. Beautiful, amazing pose. It fortifies the body. Good. Have formidable determination to stay in the pose. Lift your heels, stretch, rock back and forth if you can. Try to get your chest in front of your arms. Of course, according to your shoulders. Now, drop your heels down so you can lift your left leg up. Again, for more advanced practitioners if you like. If you want, you can even move your right hand in a little bit. See if you can lift your left hand in, I should say, and then lift all but the index finger of the right hand up off the ground. Eventually, you might be able to take your hand up off the ground. Now repeat on the other side. This, again, just options. The right leg comes up. See if you can put all your weight on your right, more of the weight on right hand, so you can lift your left hand. So you come onto your fingertips. Eventually, just take off all but just the index finger off the ground. Push into your right hand firmly, so that there's no weight on the left hand. Eventually, you'll be able to get your left hand up off the ground as well. Come back down with the foot. Come back down with your head. Relax on your back. Breathe in. Breathe out all fatigue. Good. Now bring the right leg up. Slide your left foot in if you need to, if you have tight hamstrings. Take hold of the ankle with the hands. The right ankle, bring your right knee in towards your shoulder. Pull on the foot. Try to get your foot close to your head. If you can extend your left leg. Make sure your right hip is not riding up. Keep both sides of your torso equally long. Very flexible. You can even try to bring your foot to the ground beside your body, beside your head. Infinity pose. Now, come into half happy baby pose. Bend the leg again. Your heel in the line at the back of the knee. Bring your leg across the chest. Start like an upside down pigeon. You can take your foot into the crook of the arm and take hold of your hands, your right elbow underneath the knee, and pull the leg close to your chest, maybe right on your chest. You can stay there, or you can come into half happy baby pose again. Slip your arm in front of the back of the leg. So it would look like this if you're on the ground. Lift your shoulders up off the mat. If you want, you can try to take your head behind your foot behind your head. Bring your left knee in towards your body. Keep pushing your foot back behind your shoulder. You have to push at the back of the shoulder. Get your knee up close to your ear. Bring your head forward and see if you can get your foot behind your head. Okay, so wiggle a little bit. This way, bring your left knee in towards your body. You move a little bit, allow the right hip to come up a little bit so you can get your knee up higher. All these little actions at the same time will eventually be able to make your way. You'll be able to make your way. Not important again. Just do your best. You can extend your left leg if you can. Break the pose. Try it on the other leg now. Take the right leg up. Bring the right knee in if you need to. The knee to the shoulder. Take hold of the ankle and push the foot towards the head. You can stop at any point wherever you feel like you've reached your limit. If you're more flexible, slide your right leg out. If you're very flexible, you can try to take your foot to the ground. Your left foot. Now half happy baby pose. Bend the leg again. Bring your knee underneath your armpit and see if you can take your foot across the chest. can hold it with your hand. You can bring it to crook the arm. Your left elbow just goes underneath your knee a little bit and hug your leg to the body. Feel free to stay there. Or eventually take your foot back up into half happy baby pose, but this time try to bring your arm across the back of the leg. Your shoulder, back of the shoulders into the back of the knee. Here, again, if you want to try to take your leg behind your head, bring your right knee in a little bit. Wiggle, right, allow the left hip to come up. Your knee comes close to shoulder. Lift your shoulders up. Push your foot back behind your head and to the right. And see if you can get your leg behind your head. Not important again. Just if you have it in your practice, you can go ahead. But with constant practice, all will come eventually. Just use your imagination, see yourself in a practice you're trying to attain. But with most important, with the intention of just offering it up, your effort is more important. And the intention of offering is more important than a result. Break the pose, shake out the legs a little bit. Come up to seated, cross your ankles, make your way onto your belly again. Forehead on hands, breathe in, breathe out. Hands underneath your shoulders now, make your way into cobra. Roll your shoulders back, lift your feet together like a tail of a snake. A snake doesn't have any feet. Push into your hands, curve your back, don't lose your neck again. Roll your shoulders down and back so the head can go back more. You're trying to get the back of the head over your seat. If you need to, you can stay on the forearms and your sphinx, but keep pushing your chest forward away from the seat. Anchor down to the thighs and the tops of the feet and the hips. It's not an upward facing dog. Your hips are not off the ground. Okay, so keep your pelvis on the ground. If you can waddle a little bit, move your hands a little bit closer. Eventually come onto your fingertips. Try to get your hands right in front of your hips. Roll the shoulders down, take the head back. If you want to go into King Cobra, you have to open up your legs a little bit. Press into your fingertips. Get lots of extension and bring your feet up. Imagine you have socks behind your knees that you're trying to keep in place. Point the toes. Eventually, maybe your toes will touch the head. And then once your feet find the head, you can bring your heels, your palms back down. Break the pose, come back down. Rest. Forehead on the hands, breathe in, breathe out. Bow pose. Bring your feet up towards your seat. If you can't take hold of your legs, you can use a strap if you like, or rings, or a wheel if you have any of those. Or you can hold your pant legs even and see if you can pull. Watch out you don't tear them. If you can, I find it's easier to take one arm on the ground first, press into your arm, bend the toes under on a foot that you're not binding, and push the foot up as high as you can. Once you have one foot, really pull on the foot and then bring the other leg up. You might be able to take your other foot up once you have the other one. Good. And then just keep on pulling on your legs. Try to get your feet up higher and higher. As you pull, at some point you can look up. You might be able to see your toes. You can rock it a little bit if you like. If you get enough momentum, if you pull, you might be able to come right onto your knees. It's just good for the organs. Reach up, stretch. If you're flexible, take close holder to the knees if you like. Let's see if you can straighten your legs a little bit more. Bring the toes together. Be creative with your forms. Try another shape if you like, or stay in the one that you're at. If you have flexible shoulders, you can take
the foot from the outside, thumb in the base of the toes. Try to get your foot up high as you can. So your elbow's higher than the shoulder, and then bring your elbow forward. And if you can't get your other arm in that way, you can just do half one. If you can, however, do the same way. Elbow up, at least the height of the shoulder, and then you'll be able to take your feet up. Know your limitations. Remember, don't move the joints in a way that doesn't feel natural, that hurts. Remember what you're offering. Break the pose. Forehand hands, breathe in. Breathe out. Hands underneath your shoulders. Make your way back up to seated position. Bring your feet forward. Ardha Matsyendrasana. You can have your left leg extended, your right foot on the outside of the left shin, or if you can, fold your left leg under. Your foot is beside your hip, not sitting on it. Left arm goes up and then across to the right. Against the thigh, push the lower back up and in. Turn to the right. You can take hold of the heel if you like. You can take any kind of bind if you know any other variations. If you have your leg extended, make sure you're not leaning back. So it's not like, it should not look like you're lounging at the beach. Keep your back upright so that you get the benefit of the twist more. Your foot a little bit beyond the knee. Go back to the front, change the sides. Left foot on the outside of the right shin. Right arm up and then across against the outside of the left thigh. Your left hand right at the center of the back, against the back. Turn to your left. Twist from the base of the spine all the way up. Again, you can fold the leg if you like. Whatever variation you like suits you, that where you can really feel the twist. Break the pose, lie down on the back for Shavasana. Make your way down softly on your back. Allow the body to sink down. Bring your body in a state that allows you to completely relax, to surrender physically, let go of all efforts, let go of all tension. Feel as though the body became like a corpse, completely dead-like. All the muscles feel as though they dissolved. Mentally, yet to surrender as well. Be receptive and open to all the incoming gifts coming from all around you. Remember, God is everywhere, surrounds us. Everything that we're projecting out there comes to us, and vice versa. We project everything outward as well. And we want to make sure that whatever we're projecting is coming from a place of love, compassion. Imagine you're being flooded by the best of the best now. Receive it with gratitude. Direct it right to the spiritual heart, the residing place of God. And as that subtle divine essence is equally present in all forms, everything that you send to God goes out to all beings everywhere. Continue to do this in your day-to-day life. Put into practice compassion in everything you do, say, and think. The more you practice it, the more it will come, just naturally. And then what you put out there is always worthy of God's attention and worthy to serve other beings in a good way. So now prepare to come back to seated position for the closing. Move in a way that is mindful, that is gentle and reverent. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Be receptive to the grace of God. All is within. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining. Sending much love to all of you. Have a wonderful day. Wow, I didn't expect that. All right. See you soon. I just saw a whole bunch of hearts float up. So also much love to all of you. See you soon.